Alright, gotta pretend to be lively. Gotta pretend to have a personality, John. Eh, that'll be kinda tough. Alright, oh god, I'm having issues. I'm having issues. Oh, stop it. Uh, okay, it's gonna have to stay tangled. That's fine. Hello, YouTube. This is John, aka Plokar Arts, aka Do House, aka I don't know if I have any other aliases, but it's definitely not Batman. Um, Welcome to another exciting episode of I talk about the art I did. I don't know what to call this. Just another commentary on my most recent art piece, or well, I guess second most recent. I just did something else recently, but that's besides the point. I did Batman. Wow, that sounds really awkward. Okay. Here in this video, you're gonna hear my process of what I went through in order to complete this little image here on the right. As you can see, the final product. My 13 and a half hour process of how, what, why, when, and all that fun jazz. So, without further ado, why don't you join me on this exciting commentary slash time lapse of my Batman slash Kevin Conroy tribute fan art. Alright, so at first, I started just the sketching process, not exactly sure what I wanted to do besides, I wanted to do something to honor the very recent, late, great Kevin Conroy. And honestly, this is kind of a sad subject for me because I grew up with Kevin Conroy as Batman, from Batman the Animated Series to, Justice League, Batman Beyond, the Arkham games, and everything. And when I found out that he had passed away, I didn't believe it at first. I just woke up one random morning, which is strange for me because I don't do mornings. And I was like, I'm gonna just go look on Twitter because I'm awake and I can't get back to sleep. And I saw that Kevin Conroy had sporadically passed away. And I didn't believe it. I thought it was bull because I couldn't find anything to back it up. And then a little time went by and it turned out to be true. And I put my phone down and went right back to sleep, honestly. I was extremely sad to see that it was true that Kevin Conroy indeed had passed away. It hurt. It hurts still because it is still very recent. It only happened within the last few weeks. And because he's Batman, this was like a childhood hero of mine, and even into my teen years, my 20s, I still, loved his work and thought that he was magnificent. And everyone knows that he is one of the most iconic Batmen to have ever taken on the role, and most certainly owns the role in terms of voice. Even though my favorite on-screen Batman is is Michael Keaton, when I think of Batman, when I think of Batman's voice, it is Kevin Conroy's voice every time. If I think of the subject of Batman, if I'm talking about it with friends or family or what have you, Kevin Conroy comes to mind pretty much almost instantly. And it it definitely hurt my soul real bad when turned out he was no longer with us. So, anyways, after a few days of being super duper sad, I wanted to pay tribute to him through my art, and I started out with a sketch, not exactly sure what I wanted to do, but then I came across this picture of him in a tuxedo from I'm going to assume it must have been the 80s. I'm not exactly sure what it was for. It looked kind of like just a headshot that maybe he presented to get work. Maybe I'm not entirely sure what the backstory of it is, but it came across to me as very Bruce Wayne-ish. So I was like, okay, well, this kind of lends itself to an art piece, and plus the sketch that I was starting with that you saw at the beginning with Bruce Wayne outside of his like right beside his suit in like some sort of tank that you kind of seen in various different uh, uh, mediums with Batman, where he keeps his suits in cases. Uh, like I wanted to sort of do something like that and sort of have it very somber and just, looking like it's sort of like sad to see, Kevin Conroy is gone and, Batman is no longer here sort of thing. But as I started sketching, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna read that this is specifically Kevin Conroy, so I sort of abandoned that idea of it being a long shot and wanted to bring it up close and personal to see his face. And then I saw, this picture. I figured, okay, I'm gonna, combine like my idea of his Batman with him as Bruce Wayne, which he looks very Bruce Wayne-ish. Like I said, hell, just in real life, throughout the years, like he could have played Batman slash Bruce Wayne in live action, no problem, I think. I'm sad that it only happened the one time, I believe, and I still haven't really seen the full episode of that. I think it was for Batwoman, I believe is the show, where he played live action Bruce Wayne, but it was like a darker version. I've only seen some clips. I haven't seen it in full, but I wish that he had done it more. That would have been awesome. Anyways, so I did that. I put his photo up there and I started just painting over it, just sort of at first like bringing the Arkham Batman beside him and trying to marry the two, but I didn't really feel like it was working, so I painted my own Batman and wanted to. I felt like it was probably best that it worked out that way, anyways, because I wanted my Batman to be a little bit more inspired by the animated series Batman with the big yellow emblem on his chest and all that. That's kind of where I wanted it to go, but I did kind of want to keep a little bit of that Arkham vibe to it with like at least the cowl a smidge, but I love the white eye and definitely wanted that to come into play. And then when it came to the background, that was really where I was having most of my fun, I believe, with like creating Gotham. With Gotham, as you may have seen, I was using a brush that mostly just one brush that was it came from the YouTuber artist Jazza. His digital art set is like just like the this like sort of cityscape building paintbrush that you just use for like backgrounds and stuff. It's the first time I've ever played with that brush, and it was fun. It was fun, sort of turning that brush into the landscape of Gotham. That was really cool. And I also wanted to bring in that water tower, the WB water tower, because I figured like, well, I mean, yeah, it is a fun little nod to like the fact that WB owns the Batman and all that fun jazzy stuff. But yeah, I wanted to definitely pay some homages to his run as the animated series Batman with the blimps, the police blimps in the sky, and since I'm pretty sure his first official episode that aired was on Leather Wings, right? The one with the Man Bat episode. Uh, I wanted to pay tribute to that, so I made sure that I got an image of, the man bat, and it worked best because I also wanted a giant moon in the sky, and like I took a still shot of the episode where man bat is flying in front of the moon and like Batman's below him, but I painted him out, obviously. Um, And as I went along, like I was forming Gotham, I was putting up the spotlight and the moon and the WB water tower and all this stuff. Uh, but I was starting to feel like it wasn't popping as much as I was hoping. So then I started including the bats all around, specifically the the bat on his shoulder was more or less a last minute addition. Like I just felt like okay, the left side of Batman slash Kevin Conroy, felt visually interesting, but there was nothing really grabbing me about the right side. So I was like, okay, how can I fix this? What can I do here to make it more interesting? Oh, okay, I know. I can have a little bat on his shoulder. I think that's kind of a fun, neat little idea. Why don't I do that? And I kind of like that. I had this bat sort of looking like he's sort of protecting him in a way. Because a part of me just wants to give Kevin Conroy slash Batman a big ol' hug. Yeah, not gonna lie, I wish I could. I wish it was still possible, and I feel like apparently after hearing that he had died of cancer, I can't remember what type of cancer, but I believe it was cancer. I believe that he definitely deserved a big old hug. And what better than a little a little bat to do it? A little tiny fuzzy bat. And the bat was a stock image that I found, obviously. A couple of stock images that I put together. And then for the head, I took that from Batman Arkham Origins, which I know Kevin Conroy didn't voice Batman in that specific installment of the of the Arkham series. But I that bat always stuck around in my head, and I really liked the image of that bat, and I put him in there. So yeah, it's just, sorry, but I really liked how that turned out. But then after a while, I was also after I got like some of these other details, like with the Gotham all laid out and Kevin Conroy slash Batman all laid out, I was starting to feel like okay, I'm still missing the tribute factor to Kevin Conroy himself, mainly because uh it might not read that this is Kevin Conroy just because it is such a younger image of him, and I've also painted over him, and I was kind of worried that he was not. Ah, you know what? I should have painted over his iris a bit more, because it looks very flat and lifeless now that I'm looking at it. Damn. Oh well. You live and you learn. I guess I could always fix it, but I feel like I should live with the mistakes that I make. If I keep going back to every single art piece I've ever done to fix the little mistakes, I'm never going to be done with them. So I kind of just have to live with them. Anyways, I was starting to feel like, okay, I need to feel more that this is a tribute to the man, the legend, Kevin Conroy, and not just a random Batman art piece. So I included the two images on both the left and the right uh, of Kevin Conroy himself, and I kind of love these two images because, excuse me, uh, yeah, that's how I sneeze. I'm sorry. uh, I included these specifically, these two images. I looked through like dozens upon dozens of images of Kevin Conroy himself, but these ones stuck out to me most because one, for the one on the left, it's near impossible to find an image of him scowling. And I kind of loved that I could find a clear and decent image of him scowling like he's Batman, you know what I mean? Like I thought like that works really well to be on the left side, where he's supposed to be the Dark Knight. And then on the right side, it was so easy to find images of him smiling. Like it felt like I want to say 90% of the images online of Kevin Conroy are of him just smiling because he just has this warm, happy, lovely presence that I feel like anyone could get along with and wants to be friends with and just talk to. And it's so sad to see him gone. But yeah, this was one of the ones where, or this image of him smiling was one of the ones that stuck out to me most, and I felt like it complemented and contrasted the one on the left very well, and so I included that, and then I tried to make the image make as much sense as possible with the lighting of like the city and the blimp sort of lighting a little bit of his face and then the smoky atmosphere and like I tried to make it blend in well enough and hopefully it reads decently and not just looks like ass and bad Photoshop. I hope not. I like it. I like how it turned out. I know there was one thing about it that I wasn't liking at first, and that was his ears. And the man has fine ears. Okay, I'm not gonna say that like I hate his ears or anything. No, no, no. It just when it comes to a piece like this, where it's very, for the most part, very serious looking. It looked a little goofy to just have his ears just sort of just poking out in the darkness and so I had to erase his ears. I remember specifically doing that. A silly little detail, but yeah. For the most part, this whole piece was painted with Jazz's art, uh, digital art brushes, paintbrushes, digital paintbrushes, whatever they're called. I can't really remember, but so far I'm really liking his brushes. Sadly, I don't love some of them because they freeze on me a lot. And maybe it's my computer. I don't know. I feel like I have way more memory heavy brushes that work more fluidly than some of his brushes. I'm not gonna lie. And maybe it's just Krita as well. Maybe because I know that Jazz's digital art brushes had a big issue with Krita at the beginning. I know for a fact because I wanted to test them out, and there was this weird sort of glitch going on where it was just dots. Almost uh, every paintbrush, it wasn't the actual like stamp that it was supposed to be using or texture it was supposed to be using. It was just circles and dots and all that. It was just like, oh, so glad I spent money on this. No, but it seemed like he quickly fixed that, which was great. But oh, another really fun thing that sorry, Buster wants to be on my lap. He is my cat, in case anyone wants to know who the hell Buster is. Buster is one of my two cats. The other cat is asleep in front of the food bowl. Because of course he is. At least he's not asleep in the food bowl. Which he's done before. Not joking. Okay, now Buster doesn't want to be in my lap. Now Buster wants to be at my feet. All right, Buster's at the feet now. Another fun thing that I really did have fun doing was the art showcase for this. I really did have a lot of fun with animating this. I mean, I know it's not like a great deal of animation. It's not even very good animation. I just liked bringing it all together. And if I if I spent a lot more time on it, I definitely could have made it look a lot better, I'm sure. And also, if I wasn't so rusty in animating, I could make it look a hell of a lot better. But I do like how this turned out. I think it was very moody. Sorry, I've been talking for 20 minutes with dry mouth. I love how moody it is. I love the atmosphere in it. I love how I made the rain mostly look decent. I just loved editing this together. If there's anything I love almost as much, maybe sometimes more than creating art, it's video editing. I love the hell out of video editing. I really do. And this was a lot of fun to do. And then, you know, putting together the music by the also late great Shirley Walker. Uh, I believe that's all the music I used was from Shirley Walker. I don't think I used anything else outside of what was heard in Batman the Animated Series, and that was exclusively conducted by Shirley Walker, I believe. The animated series and also Mask of the Phantasm. I don't think there was any other music I had used besides music from the animated series and such, or anything affiliated with it, because I wanted to make sure that I am as authentic and true to what Kevin Conroy was a part of as I could be, with the exception of this one little tiny bat on his shoulder. I died. Sorry, but yeah, I do like how this turned out. And I am mostly happy with the final results here of everything. Putting Okay, Buster, are we back? Are we back in my lap again? Okay, we're back in my lap again, and now he's leaving my lap. The life of having cats. anyways, anyways, this was a cool piece to put together, and it took a little bit of figuring out, but I mostly got it, I think. Achieved what I wanted to get. A tough little issue that I was having was placing his eye, not Bruce Wayne's side eye, but Batman's eye, because I believe, if I remember correctly, his actual eye is like right here. Like it's like right there. And so anytime I put this white eye like right here, it looked so awkward. But I also felt like if I squeezed in the head here, it also looked awkward. And anytime I fiddled with the eye to put it anywhere else except here, it looked bad. So I was like, "Mm, fuck." Like I was having a very hard time figuring that out. But obviously, I just sort of stuck with my gut and said, okay, I'm gonna have to say it looks good here. I think it looks good there. I could have done better here, honestly. Again, you sort of live and you learn. Uh, God damn it, now this is gonna bother me so much. I'm sorry. Anyways, so yeah, that was my process of putting together my art tribute to Kevin Conroy. May he rest in peace. Again, I was actually very affected by this one here, and sadly, he wasn't the only childhood hero death that happened for me recently, because soon after he died. He had passed away. Jason David Frank, I believe his name. Hold on. We're just gonna Jason David Frank. That is his name. I'm sorry, he has three first names. It's always tough for me to make sure that I have them in the right order. But anyways, also Jason David Frank, who was the white/green ranger in the original Power Rangers. also passed away. And then as I am speaking right now, I found out just a mere few hours ago that this wasn't a childhood hero per se of mine, but Kirstie Alley, who I grew up watching in a lot of stuff, uh, mainly Look Who's Talking. That was a very early role that I saw her in. Like I still have the VHS of that one, and as well as Look Who's Talking Now. That was another childhood icon that sort of passed away recently as well. Also, cancer. So, yeah, it's been a rough month. It really has for me in terms of depression, honestly, now. Uh, uh, it's just, losing a lot of what feels like big chunks of my childhood are just, just gone. Uh, and sort of tragically before their time, in my opinion, too. And it's sad. It's very sad. And no, I'm not gonna do any artwork of Jason David Frank or Kirstie Alley. Uh, as much as like I'm sure like they I love them just as much too. Well, I love them a lot, but it was already kind of sad enough for me to do this art piece because even though like it was a lot of fun, particularly creating Gotham, that was the most fun part, I believe. Uh, for me, it was it was pretty it was pretty hard to to actually put this together, seeing like my childhood icon and then coming with to terms with the fact that like a childhood hero and coming to terms with the fact that he is no longer with us and I'm never gonna be able to hear a new uh performance out of him ever again, as Batman, as like the Batman, as one of the greatest Batmans ever. And yeah, I know like it's silly to be like, oh well, there's plenty of other Batman, like get over it. He was more than just Batman. He's an actual man. Jeez. And yeah, obviously I'm very sad that like the man is gone and everything. It's just like th- there's just that little piece of my childhood that just feels like it's also gone now because of it. And him being Batman was that part of my childhood, and it's part of me that hurts to see go. But I'm also glad that we all were able to enjoy what a lovely person he seemed to be. Like, I've seen so many interviews of Kevin Conroy, uh, especially recently. I've seen so many interviews with him, and he's always like the most lovely man anyone has ever spoken to in the history of ever, it seems. Like, he is just so nice. He is so sweet. And I I hate that he's gone. I really do hate that he's gone. And so yeah, to create this piece here was almost like me saying goodbye to that part of my childhood, and I kind of don't want to say goodbye to any more parts of my childhood right now. I'm in a bit of a mourning phase at the moment, and I can't handle it. But maybe in the future I will do fan art of Kirstie Alley and Jason David Frank as as a Power Ranger. They could both be Power Rangers. Oh, and to speak really quickly on the emblem here, I just wanted to say that, like, yes, obviously I took the animated series emblem, Batman emblem, and I just stuck it on his chest. but I want to say I was particularly more inspired by Tim Burton's Batman emblem that's seen on posters, and that's why it has those little light flares on it, just kind of like the poster has. I, I I I wanted to pay a little bit of tribute and homage to that because I do believe if it wasn't for Tim Burton's Batman the animated series with Kevin Conroy and Paul Dini and why am I blanking on the man's name? Bruce Timm. God damn. With Bruce Timm, I feel like those would not exist without Tim Burton's Batman. So I wanted to pay a little bit of tribute to that as well. Oh yeah, to get the glow effect on some of like the moon and some of the other elements in the scene, I just put on a filter to give it like I believe a Gaussian blur, and then I just sort of erased it as I wanted to give some clearness in some spots here and there, but leave the glow around it. Anyways, there's not really much more I have to say. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm rambling. I've been rambling for over half an hour, and I'm so sorry to anyone who even bothered listening. Uh, it, so, anyways, if you like this and you want to see more of this, then by all means, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it if you want to see more artwork like this. I have plenty more to show, and I have plenty more to come. And if you don't like my artwork, then I'm so sorry. I have other content that you might enjoy. I play video games from time to time. There's plenty of video game content that you can lounge around and checking out. Anyways, I'm terrible at outros, so uh, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little ding 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 notification bell if you know what I mean. That'd be oh so swell. I'm I'm bad at YouTube. One of these days I'll get better at it. It's fine. All of like 3 people have even clicked on this video, and I'm gonna say none of you made it to this point, so it's okay. This is more for me than anything, I suppose. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, year. Go watch Batman the Animated Series again because it's a great fucking show. Take care. Bye.